Zan back at the clutch cover. I don't need this out. Of the clutch cover, the clutch of the ZX-10R. And I've been fighting with this for a little while here today. Mostly because this cover, which is called the bearing, see, this is called the, spring plate. Let's verify I'm doing the right terms for you guys here. The clutch spring plate, this guy here, has to be, there's like a couple grooves it has to fit into, and I didn't know that. So I had a gap in here, and nothing was really lining up well, and I put the clutch on, and I could move it by my hand. I didn't like that. Something didn't seem right. So I've taken this thing apart like 4 or 5 times now. And we're just going to torque all these down to 96 inch-pounds. I'm not going to take it apart and show you how it lines up, but just for my future knowledge. And which one just do? I forgot. And so everyone else watching this knows, when you put your clutch back together, there's not supposed to be any play in these plates. They're not supposed to slide out and in. And mine did originally. There was like a 1/4 inch gap or so, and it was like, this doesn't seem right, but I don't have enough experience or remember enough. I can't remember which one I didn't do. I keep talking. Or I haven't done enough of these to remember that there's supposed to be no play in those. I didn't think there should be, but whatever. Okay, I've done all these, so we're just going to go around because I'm tired of guessing. But I knew the problem when I was able to pull on the clutch lever, or the clutch lever, this clutch part, when I put this side case on, and I could move this by hand. Like I could push this all the way in, and there was no resistance on it. And I knew that because every bike behind me that I touched, I couldn't. Like, it would not move a millimeter. I was like, nah, this thing is tight. I'm like, okay, what did I do wrong? And I spent a lot of time just making sure that I was right in my endeavors. This clutch, this cover, for whatever reason, catches every once in a while, and I gotta like ease it off and ease it back on. Okay. Now we're not gonna bolt this cover down quite yet. Oh yeah, so this, before I used to be able to push this all the way. I can't do anything with it because the lever takes up a lot of playing space. Okay, so we've got the clutch back together. I gotta make sure I don't need to drop things. I have to make sure that I do not need any silicone on this cover before I put it on. But this part of the engine is ready to go back together. I'm ready to put this cover on. I'm ready to put the stator cover back on. I know this needs like grease there and somewhere over here. Put that on. So it's gonna be about however this goes. This one. Oh, I forgot it's magnetized. I do that every time. I scare myself. No, this wire is definitely down. Come on, magnets. Oh Lord. One, two, maybe not. Maybe this goes just like that. Okay. So I know this has a gasket too. We're not going to mess with it. So that's going to go on. This is going to go on, and then we'll work on the starter, which is all this. The cam chain I need to fish back in there, but luckily I broke something, so it goes on pretty easily now. So it's something that's not detrimental to it, but just it looks like the person who we bought the engine off of broke it. I broke the one on the original bike taking it off, so it looks like a common thing because I found where it tells you how to take it off 100% in the book, and it's like it's nowhere near where this is. It's really weird. So it's like, oh, I did everything according to the book, and then you find this one supplemental thing way in the back. So I'll have to get that in there properly, and tension everything when we get there. So we're almost done with the bottom end minus the oil pan, because the oil pan will not let it sit flush anymore, so I want to keep that off for right now. And then we'll put that on. So we're going to put side cover. We'll start on the starter, and then we'll start getting to the top of the engine. This goes somewhere here. I forget where. I just remember I saw it recently. Put that up there. So let me get some specs, get some stuff. We'll get back on that. Cool. It's finally the day. We're going to put some covers on the ZX-10R. We got the clutch all assembled. Tight as hell. Beautiful. Had my little mistake with alignment in there, but we got that solved. What do we have? So now we're going to torque these this side cover down to 89 inch-pounds, starting with this guy. There's some silicone on there as well, so we gotta, you know, let it settle a bit. We're gonna torque it down once all the way around. We'll come back, and we'll go around one more time. 1, 2, 3. These ones might not be easy to torque because they're on the bench. Go back to 1. We're going to go back to 1, which is this one, actually. One, go back to 2. Because everything's seated now properly. We go around. I always go around a couple times because you're seating on a new gasket. It compresses a bit, and when it compresses, can throw off your readings, especially when you get one thing done on one side. So like if you tighten it all up on one side 100%, the other side is not actually tight anymore. It's like it can come off. One, back to 1. 2, these aren't turning at all anymore, so I know they're 100% torqued down to the right spec. 7, 8, 9, and 10. Voila. All set. One cover on. Next thing we're going to work on is generator cover. I got to put this this cover, this hold, I think it holds cables or hose holder on there as well. I believe, oops, dropped the bolt. I have all of the right bolts right here, which is great. I'm gonna put them on this rag. I'm gonna put this rag over here so I don't lose them. But with that side, we have to look at the generator cover, which is probably an electrical. There we go, 14, beautiful. Bunch of 13s. Alternator cover bolts, again, 89 inch-pounds. Go to charging system, alternator cover removal, alternator cover assembly. Got 2 blobs of silicone. The reason we're doing this now is the silicone's already out. I just lost the tip to it again. It should be right here. There it is. Silicone, which is just used on this side. And it goes just above there. I think it's gonna go, yeah, it's gonna go on the mating surfaces of the upper and lower crankcase. And that, I think that's literally just in case there's any gap in there. This will kind of push it in, hold it tight. Okay, let's leave the silicone over here. Let us look at our gasket kit over here. And I already pulled it out. Nice. Got a gasket. Now it's got to go on this way. There's only one way it can go on. Voila. Voila. And we are missing a dowel. Who knew? We're missing a dowel. Not there. We're gonna have to find it now. What I'm talking about is one of these dowels up here. There's supposed to be one in the bottom, right here, and it is not here, it is not there. It's for alignment purposes and making sure everything stays tight. I guess what we should do is go over to our old engine, and we're looking at the bottom half right here. And look, a dowel right there. We're going to use the one off the old engine because I know where it is. I don't know if it came with the new engine, but assuming that this came off our old engine, it's going to be just fine. We're going to smack you guys. There we go. There we go. And now what we do is we take assembly lube and we just put just ever so touch in that dowel. Work it in just a bit. And on that dowel. That'll just help us slide it on there. Done this before. Set it to do it on a different part of the book. Didn't read for this part because I'm just going to assume. Now we've got this cover goes on. Dowel there, dowel there. It's magnetic. Oh, I lost it. Strong magnet. Okay, gotta get it aligned properly. Gotta get it aligned. Come on. Okay. There we go. It's on. Yay. There. It's probably torqued just fine. We don't need any more. Now, with this cover, there is also... Oh, look at that. Bolts. There is a cover. Where is it? Where did it go? Right there, B, which was magnetized. This guy here is going to go right here. Right. Uh-oh, this doesn't look right. What's going on here? Did I not line this right? This is 180 degrees off. Oh, I lied. Haha, this is going to go right here. I was off. I was off with the placement of this guy. Now, luckily, these are all the same length bolts. And I measured these out already, but we're going to start here before we even get our torquing pattern. And we're just going to put these bolts on each of the holes. Just get them all finger tight so that they can't go anywhere. Oop, missed one. Thanks YouTube, you caught me. 6. Now these bolts, I look like I never ran through the ultrasonic cleaner. I should have. The heads are not in the greatest condition, so I'm gonna have to come back. I'm gonna come back and clean the engine off anyways, but get a brush in there at some point and get those off. Now we gotta find the torque specs. There is no proper torque pattern for this. I do know this side holds a lot less oil than the other, but I'm surprised that there's no torque spec. Now what we're gonna do is just gonna use this to just twist them on just ever so slightly so that I don't have to do it by hand. And it stops. They kind of go around in a slight pattern so that it's not just all one side, not the other. Okay, they're all on there, what I would call finger tight with the impact, but not ripped on there, so they're not super tight. But I'm really surprised there is no, let's just torque it down. So we're still at 89, and we're going to start with the bottom. So then why start with the bottom? Well, because the bottom is where all the oil will come from. If it's going to leak, it's going to leak out the bottom. Now, because I'm weary about this, I'm going to go back over here and... Oh, we didn't click. Every once in a while, you got to reset your torque wrench. I don't know why, but both my torque wrenches do this, where I need to zero them out and go back to where I need to, or they do not click. And if someone knows why, please let me know. 85, 89. Yep. Let's go back over here and test. Clicked automatically. Nice. So now this side will keep tightening. It's the compression. Once the first one gets down, I feel better, but we're compressing down gasket material. Sometimes that stuff can take a lot. So let's go up here. Oh yeah, okay, so it started to tighten down, but then everything else loosened up because I started putting pressure on it. So okay, another trick I like to do when I'm feeling uncomfortable and don't want to strip bolts out of an engine that I can't replace is I'll go to like half of where it should be and start with that. Okay, now that I've got one torque down to 40, that one, go around until they're all torqued down to 40. Now we'll up it to, let's say, 70. I call this step torquing. Whether it's the right way to do it or not, let me know. I will take any advice humanly possible. And now that we are 270, geez, it's getting blown up over here. We're going to go up to 89. Let's do a test. Make sure it clicks over here on side it's supposed to be 89. It did not again. So this is a problem I've been having with this torque wrench is I don't trust it. It's not that old, but like sometimes it just doesn't love me. And I'm afraid to over torque things and break them. Oh, let's do our test. Okay, test complete. Let's go back to the one that spun. Test complete. Yay. Aha! I thought I was doing something wrong. This bracket's actually flipped. It's supposed to be the other way. Those hoses are supposed to be on the other side. So we're going to have to flip that around. And for that, we're going to go super fast. Apparently we're not. This thing is not great for detorquing something. Detorquing. Removing something is great for just putting it on a little bit. They're back on. Let's get back to torquing. All right. End of last clip. I snapped a bolt. Luckily, we had a spare. I retorqued everything down. We're all good. I have to make sure I route this the proper way. However it goes, there's a routing diagram for that later. But we're moving higher up the engine right now. We're going to work on the cylinder heads. These are the old heads. I guess I don't need these anymore because I can't really, well, I guess I can put those back in because I could still drop something down those and screw myself over. So yeah. These are the cylinder heads that came off the ZX-10R. All the bolts except for 2 are right here. The other 2 I gotta find. I do believe they're all the same. 1, 2, yep, all 8 are in there. We need to reassemble that onto here. Got our dowels in already. Let me just double check that we don't have dowels already in this engine, which which side's, this is exhaust, right? Okay, exhaust, so that'd be front of engine. Spin the whole thing around a second. Not quite sure where these are going yet. Just found these 2 guys. Might be part of the cap. We're gonna make sure all these are right. We're gonna see what we have for spares for new pieces here. We've got new head gasket in here. We've got new, I believe these little guys are for the valves. 90%. And we've got this kit here that doesn't seem to have any of these. And these are injectors. Those are spark plugs. Right. Okay, so I think first thing we got to figure out where these rubber pieces came from. They were just kind of sitting on here. They may be part of something else. The bike's been moved around the garage a few times, so it could be a lot of different things. Actually, I guess first thing we should do is take the head gasket out. There we go. And this did not come with the full kit. This was an additional piece. And it should go on just like this. Oops, I lied, like this. And we have to force this guy up through here. And then voila, we should be in place. Except what's not lining up? Nothing. Everything lines up. Okay. So there. New head gasket done. I'm going to verify I don't need to oil that. Replace gasket with new one. Replace washer bolts. Blah, 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 blah. So we should be able to just drop the head on here, I think, and go. Okay, rubber. There's no rubber on this one. Might need a rubber piece. MIA. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to go to Partzilla. Actually, no, we'll just go over here. Top end exploded view. Yep. I don't see this rubber pieces anywhere on this. Oh, there's no rubber, I lied. There's just the metal below. So we'll have to figure that out, where that's supposed to go. And head gasket's still on here. I thought we pulled the head gasket off already. Let's roll it. Let's roll it right on its back. Part of the head gasket's still here, so we're going to have to work this guy off. I thought we did this already, and I'm going to have to clean this head up somehow without losing and breaking things. So let's clear off a little space here from our torquing experience. If I lay it on the top, all that might happen is I lose some bolts or some gasket. Okay. Go the bolts. Perfect. Each one is a washer that we have to verify is still there when we get done with this process. They might fall out now. Okay, that's the old head gasket, ladies and gents. That's going to go right in the trash, since we already have a new one. Now this does not look the best. And we're going to clean this whole thing up first. But I realized that we are not done with the bottom end of the engine yet. Those are all the washers falling off one by one. We have to do the starter motor still. And the starting system. That's not on there. And the reason it wasn't on there is because I was trying to find this pin for the cam chain tensioner that was MIA, and I found it on the old engine. So we can do two things at once. No, we can't. We can only do one. We're only one person. Okay, we're gonna hold off on the head. We're gonna finish the bottom part, work our way up. I don't want to get ahead of myself too much. So let's take this. Oh, that's where the spark plugs go. Look at that. They just stick right there. That's cool. Let's flip this back over. Oh, some caps came off too. Uh-oh, those go right there, and there. That makes sense. And I lost a guide. Let's put this back together before I lose anything. Then what we're going to do is, once this is all back together-ish, we are going to move it out of the way. We're going to work on the starter area. So scratch everything that Zan has said up until this point. He's lied to you. Nothing is real. You can see which ones have washers, which ones don't, for the most part. So this one looks like it goes over here. There is no washer, correct? Washer, 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 washer. Okay. Put these two with it as well. This is more for me to figure that out later. Okay. All right, so seeing as I was trying to skip steps here, I knew I was working my way up, but not fully. And I've got the gears right here. This is the starting system. I know we've got a pin that goes in there. This goes on here somehow, either this way or this way, and I think it's this way. I couldn't be 100% sure, and then this goes on here, and then the starter bolts onto it, but we got to look that up. Let's see if I can find the pin for that. I know it's right here somewhere. Here's the rest of the starting system. Let's just grab that. So this is starter. It goes up here. Right here is the actual starter motor. It's going to go in here somehow. Oh, it's going to go, these bolts are backwards. It's going to go this way, duh. And it's already got a gear in it. And then we'll need side cover bolts, and so you clean the gasket off of that really well. We'll need a gasket for it. This gasket. Go with that. I don't know what that one goes to. Figure that one out later. Oh my lord. Let's get the pin. Voila, that's how the gasket's going to go. This needs to come off still and get replaced. There's a gasket for that too. No, I don't think we ever pulled the starter motor out of here. Ah, there we go. The only reason I'm pulling it out, even though it was sealed in there, didn't have any problems, is I want to replace this O-ring. If we're going this far into this engine, I'm going to replace everything I can. And I think I already see that O-ring right here. Verify, yeah, it looks good. Use the oil on my hands already. Just lubricate it. Now let's clean that off more. Looks good. Let's just add a drop or two of assembly lube to this. It'll just help it slide in. Nope, not clean. There's a blob of something on there. Okay. May have come from my finger. Okay, it's in. Good enough. Okay. Okay. Perfect. Oh, look at that. Starter stuff. Ah, other gasket goes there. Okay, good. Okay, let's just get the starter. Camshaft removal. Camshaft removal. Starter clutch installation. Install the starter clutch while fitting the alignment notch into the splines on tooth C. Okay. There wasn't anything else to do, right? Nope. So the alignment, there's a notch right there. It's got to line up. Okay, that's on. Specialty tools. Really? We need to find a big washer, which I think I just saw over here. That one. And there's a bolt. Special bolt. Oh, I need this for the rest of this. I think it's this bolt. This looks right. Make sure it fits. Okay. Washer, bolt. I don't know if this is the right bolt yet. I'm just going to start it so it doesn't fall out. We can verify that in a minute. I know that this goes in here like this. And then this gear should come right on top of it like this. And we'll lock into this. Perfect. Okay. Now we'll go to the Kawasaki manual here. And we will look at... I don't think this is going to be what we need. Nope. What section do we want? Starter? Is that... Oh, starting motor. Look at that. We need a 92153. 92153. It's a 38 millimeter long bolt. This one is 38 millimeters. Perfect. To make sure we don't need Loctite or anything. And it says it was a Torx 10. That doesn't help me. Let's grab the largest one we have on this, which is a T50. Perfect. Now the other thing is, it says to hold the alternator rotor, which is under here, steady while I torque this down, but it's already on there. So we're not going to do that because I'm not going to take it apart if I don't have to. And we need 36 foot-pounds of torque. Let's see if this starts to just spin. It does. Nice. So how else can we hold this down without... We need 36 foot-pounds. That's not a lot. I doubt I can hold it with my hand for 36 foot-pounds. We're going to see how strong I am. I'm assuming this is just going to want to spin on me, right? No, I don't have a grip on there to get that. Okay. What else can we do? Okay, I'm going to come back to you guys when I figure this one out without having to take the alternator cover off, unless that's all I come up with. Interesting. There you go. Just something not aligned 100%. And this bolt here with the little bit of Loctite on it is the only one that requires non-permanent thread, which looks like it's also the one with the washer on it, according to the pictures. So we're just going to put a drop of blue on here. There's already some on there, so it should be fine. And that one goes here. Now this has a procedural step with it as well. It says hand tighten everything first, obviously. That's what we do here. Tighten the torque limiter cover C. While pushing the torque limiter cover lightly clockwise. Okay. Voila. Lastly, tighten the other bolts evenly with specific torque. Oh, weird. Okay. We did this one. Let's skip to this one. There we go. So now we just got to put on the starter, which looks like it's all lined up there. Uh-oh, but I lost a bolt for it. It's right here somewhere. There it is. There we go. Starter motor installed. Everything but those O-rings is complete. The bottom end of the engine minus oil pan in the way bottom, because it's got a flat surface that I can lift from to put it back in the bike, and then we can put the oil pan and everything back in while it's in the bike. I think it'd be the easiest way to do it. I think. Got to route some of these cables the right way around hoses and stuff. We'll get to that. But I think for today, that's enough work on this. We're going to go clean all this up, do something else, try to find some O-rings, and we'll get back to the next one. I've been Zan. This has been a ZX-10R, 2009, ZX-10R motor that we are working on and rebuilding from blown to working. There's always a chance it doesn't work, but I'm pretty confident that we got this. All right, need anything? Leave a message below. I'll answer it. If you like it, like it. If you love it, love it. Okay, guys, build your stuff. Peace out.